Player 4 Podcast's first t-shirt is now on sale at tpublic.com. Ever wonder what it takes to make a good podcast? We've already done the math for you and put it on a t-shirt. Visit our storefront at tpublic.com/user/P4Podcast and get yours today. That's tpublic.com/user/P4Podcast.
I am Tristan, aka Shag Mercier from the Rooster Teeth website.
I am Alex, aka Chaos Black 21.
I am Malachi, aka Sukikiba.
And I am Joseph Dunlap, aka Jay Dunlap. Hello, Bree.
Hi.
And now the conclusion of our Post-RTX show.
Actually, this last year I've become a big Funhouse fan.
You brought up something else interesting, Bree, something that we've talked about before, which is the bite-sized chunks of their videos. We talked about the P4Craft videos, and you said that you liked that they were somewhere between 15 to 25 minutes chunks because you were able to watch it. And I felt like it's something you kind of have to do for us because we're lesser known, so people are less likely to commit to sitting through an hour and a half Storm the Tower XXX video that they do with Achievement Hunter that they know the diehard fans are going to sit through. We want people to feel like it's not going to be a commitment to watch our stuff. So I appreciated when you had told me that, and it's really cool that was kind of the Funhouse aim as well.
I mean, for me at least, I'm still sitting down to the Let's Play Minecrafts and the Let's Play GTA 5s, but they're literally like when I turn on Saturday mornings. Like they're my new like Saturday morning cartoons, basically. So in terms of short content, especially when I'm working and doing, my freelance writing and I really feel that I just need a break, I'll just go see if Funhouse has put something up new, something new that day. And I'll be like, oh, cool. It's a 15-minute thing. Here's my 15-minute break. And that's how I spend it.
So Funhouse is your soaps. And the Let's Plays are your cartoons. So what are the cartoons?
Wait, I don't know if soaps is the right word.
Okay. What would you call it? What would you call it?
I don't know, but I don't want to call them soaps because soaps are so shitty. Funhouse is not shitty. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I think they're amazing. So
I could imagine someone saying that very thing about soap operas. Just saying.
No, it's true. That's very true.
And they're on during lunch break.
Yeah. Well, it's It's almost like a better version. Honestly, you know what it is? It's almost like a better version of talk shows.
Yeah, okay. It's people you care about talking about things you care about in an entertaining format. I can see that.
And it's not like, what's that talk show with all those 4 women on it? And it's like...
The View.
The View. It's like that, except for they're not all cat fighting and...
View House.
It's so much better, yeah. And like I just like it because they're just politically incorrect. Or, as James said in the interview I had with them, politically boring.
Huh.
Wait, is politically correct the boring one or politically incorrect the boring one?
He calls being politically correct boring. He said it was politically boring.
I was actually going to ask that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that there's so many shows that predicate themselves on just their characters are constantly politically incorrect, that could be the boring one because it's so overdone.
Okay, so you're talking more Cards Against Humanity versus Apples to Apples.
Yeah.
Or hashtag butt stuff. Alex, you brought something up.
I got it.
Yeah. Yay, you got your butt stuff.
Yeah, it was waiting for me when I got home, and I was so excited. I will say that this isn't as raunchy as I thought it would be. I haven't actually played it, but I was looking through all the cards last night with a friend, and we thought it was fun, that it looks fun and interesting, but I'm used to games like Cards Against Humanity and Disturbed Friends and all that, and this, I would say this is a step below, at least a step below in terms of raunchiness. There's some bad ones, but most part, it's pretty mellow.
Okay. Hi, Malachi.
Hello. I had to click on mute. Just make random noise. You know how I like to make random noise.
Yeah, you like to squeak your chair.
It's not my fault. The thing's a piece of crap.
It's not my fault. Gosh. Malachi, you were going to tell us what you did this weekend. I was complaining about, I only got to go for a few hours. What did you do this weekend when you weren't watching the stream?
Didn't get to go to RTX at all. And then later, I did something interesting at least. This Tuesday, actually, I went to a K-pop concert, Korean pop band. Took my sister to go see them. So they were okay. They were good. But there's some songs I like, some songs that I'm just like, yay, because they're a boy band.
Aren't most of them boy bands?
That are popular, because those boys look like freaking
Really? I thought
12-year-old.
like the only K-pop.
They look like girls.
They look like
K-pop
prepubescent
bands I know
girls.
are women.
No, dude. The big ones are... We went to go see GOT7. The big ones are BTS and GOT7, the Minot. They're huge, apparently. And when we went to go get the tickets for this concert, they sold out within an hour.
Jeez.
And so it was about 2,000 people at the concert. And they actually opened it up again for a second day because people were clamoring that they didn't get in. So it was enjoyable. I liked how they did the concert. It was kind of interesting. Instead of having like an intermission, they would have the band step off for a second, and they would do like little segments here and there. And they also did a game halfway through to kill some time for get the band to rest and also to swap out their costumes. I'm not quite sure if it was pre-recorded for that because it somewhat sounded like they were actually listening or watching a screen and then commenting while they were getting around back there. So it was good.
Did they play the Twitter games, though?
No.
Then they're not as cool as Alex.
But my sister had a blast, and there were so many girls there. It was ridiculous. Screaming their heads off.
That was Malachi.
Yeah.
That was Alex running from creepers. Stuart,
So many boy bands.
Stuart called you out.
Teenagers at VidCon.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's what I did this weekend. It was in New York City, so I got to go to the city again.
Cool. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, I couldn't find my bookstore I liked.
Did it move?
I don't know. It's near Bryant Park.
It was hiding from me.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, did you not have the address? Did it hide? Did it move? Did it have disguise?
There's Kurnichi.
You got a new haircut? He's wearing glasses and Groucho mustache?
No, I think I looked at the wrong side and got turned around.
Well, now I want to hear from Tristan and Alex on what the highlight of their weekend was.
Do you want to go first, Tristan?
I think I can go first. I think that, an easy highlight for my weekend is the panel, just because that is something that I've never done before, and I've always kind of wanted to try it, at least. Get up in front of people and do our thing. And I think it went, I think it went like our podcasts do, which was good. I actually spoke with Rick Guerrero afterward, and he was telling me how anybody who watches the podcast got exactly what they would be expecting from the podcast. He said that he went in there expecting the podcast, he got the podcast, and he loved every minute of it. So, there was some instant gratification in that we got to talk to some of these people who watch our videos here and there, and some are regulars, and they all really appreciated what we did. So there was that. Another highlight for me was just getting to spend so much time with you guys as roommates. Not you, Joseph, sorry. But but also getting to see some of my other acquaintances and friends on the RT site. I actually, way back in the day, just to go off on a little tangent here, I was on the quote-unquote RT official Minecraft server. It wasn't a staff Minecraft server. It was sort of like the RT official Dungeons & Dragons thread. It was just regular community users supporting and playing on this Minecraft server. And I met a bunch of people through there. And a while back, I stopped playing on it. There were only like one or two people I would talk to. And, I just wasn't feeling it anymore. So I left. But I became Facebook friends with one of the other people I met on it. And I do one of the side quest events this year, and I was playing pool, and this person was at the billiards table next to me, and they were laughing and being raucous, and they would talk to me now and then. And I kept just like staring at them, going, I know I recognize their face from somewhere. And finally, they like go to the other side of the pool table, and I'm just sitting there, head in my hands, going, why do I know this person? And their name clicked, and I ran around the table. I said, hey, aren't you this person? And they looked like terrified, like, why do you know my name? I'm like, we're Facebook friends. I used to be on the Minecraft server with you. And immediately they embraced me in a hug and said, oh my God, gosh, you're Shagrazir. I didn't recognize you.
It's because you keep shaving and changing your hair.
Yes.
Like, you're always devastatingly handsome, but in different ways.
See, he's trying to flatter me again. It's working.
Woo!
So that was my weekend. Those were some of the highlights for my weekend.
Hopefully there's no ulterior motives in that.
I'm not admitting to anything. I'm having trouble talking today. I don't know why. Alex, your goal when you wore that giant hat with the skull all weekend was that people would recognize you. Did it work?
Yes. Some of my friends on the RT site, they did recognize me. They'd come up, and then we talk a little bit while I was helping with whatever line that I was working on then. And then highlights, yeah, panel was a highlight. I'm going to skip over that because that's been talked about. Meeting friends was a highlight. But a major highlight, as it was last year for me, was the cheer on the Guardians. Everybody staying like way past when they needed to every time a Guardian went outside after we were done with our work to cheer and celebrate. That's always an amazing feeling. And then I'd say another major highlight was actually getting to shake Bernie's hand afterward and chat just a little bit with him, get to take a picture of him holding my traditional RTX blah 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 is capped. That was pretty fun for me there and hear him say, "This is my favorite side of the whole entire convention."
It's the sign. I still have the original message that was written on that sign.
Which one was that? Oh, no, not that one. Not that one.
Yeah, that one.
Does it say "Yo ass is capped"?
No.
No, it was worse. But I think a lot of people liked my messages on my sign as well. Like the whole entire time, I tried to get at least one message a day out there, and people enjoyed it. Like Thursday was RTX is nigh. I know Saturday I had Suck It Blue. It's RTX Day 2, and a lot of people wanted to take a picture of that. So I just like getting people pumped and excited for RTX.
Did you bring candy this year?
I did not. We were told that we should not hand anything out.
Aww.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I walked the expo hall floor, and there were plenty of people giving stuff away.
Oh.
Speaking of giving stuff away, Alex, when are you going to have the kissing booth?
Oh.
Maybe RTX 2017.
2017.
We'll get a kissing booth.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe I'll get an RTX kissing panel.
A kissing panel? All right, yes. What's your next question? Yes, I will kiss you.
Come on up here.
Are you going to charge a nickel for each one?
You can do it.
No, just like how there's that thing that always goes around, free hugs. This will be free kisses.
Wear a disguise outside of the P4 panel before people get there.
Why does he need to wear a disguise?
So they don't know, the people that don't know it's Alex right away. I don't know.
So they'll kiss him on accident?
I'm going to be very popular with my kissing panel.
He's going to dress like Ryan Reynolds and kiss everyone and then take off the disguise and be like, "Surprise, it's me!"
You mean I'm going to dress as Deadpool Ryan Reynolds? Because that's probably the best I could get to.
Yeah, because you could perfectly disguise yourself. No one will notice you.
Yeah?
Disguise your voice.
On.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, if he takes off the mask, he needs to have prosthetics of the ugly face. Because he's pretty devastatingly handsome, too.
Can you imagine kissing that, too?
I don't want to, but thanks, Malachi. Okay, Bree, it comes down to you as we wind down to a close. What was the highlight of your weekend, other than our panel?
Sure.
Oh.
Our
Uh-oh.
highlight of the weekend, are we considering the traditional answer of being able to see friends again, or do we want something a little bit more unique?
The most fun part, obviously, is seeing your friends, rooming with them, getting to go do stuff with them. So we'll say something that's not the panel and something that's not hanging out with friends.
Yeah, let's talk about something that was unique to this RTX.
Unique to this RTX. This wasn't technically unique specifically to all of RTX as a history. But you guys, one thing, and I wrote about this in my Forbes article, but I very, very much did enjoy the fact that they separated the VIP party from the industry party. Because last year, and I don't want to sound pretentious here at all, but when you're press, when you're working an event as opposed to attending panels just as a fan or working as a guardian, you have to work. Like, you're expected to turn something into your boss. Otherwise, next year, you're not going to get a press pass, right?
Right.
So for me, I attended a couple panels, but consistently throughout the day, I was working and communicating with the PR people about any new announcements. And by the end of the day, I had to write something for the editor that I was there for. And I'm fine with that. But what I did not appreciate last year was when Rooster Teeth and Fullscreen just kind of threw in the VIPs with the rest of us industry people, being like, oh, they're all kind of the same thing. They should all have their own party. No, I'm sorry. VIPs are just super fans. They don't necessarily work in the industry. They're not the ones there doing a job. They're just the ones there being treated as royalty. And to me, I very much liked that finally this year they separated the VIP party from the industry party, because the VIPs could do all their fanboy, fangirling stuff with, the Rooster Teeth family. The Rooster Teeth family expected it. But then at the industry party, the rest of us could just chill out and not have to deal with having more fans around us on a consistent basis.
I can see that. I can understand how she feels.
I had been checking social media before we sat down to record because I've been busy all day, and I saw your Forbes article, so I was like, I need to skim this. So I was skimming it, and then I kind of misunderstood your point about the parties, and so Alex explained it to me, and I was like, actually, come to think of it, because he made the point you just made. Last year when I went with Matthew at the VIP party, it was an awful lot of wanting to talk to anybody, and not getting a chance because everyone was just surrounded. And it got to a point where the only person I was actually able to talk to, except for a, hey, how you doing to Gilby as he was on his way out with his girlfriend, was Adam, the other Adam, because he was down at the bottom floor and hardly anyone knows who he is. So it was just a bunch of drunk tanks all hanging out. And then I ended up just skipping the party altogether to go hang out with other people because I just couldn't get a word in edgewise with anybody.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, I was fairly miserable last year. The only reason we had fun last year was because we helped a kid from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, meet the Rooster Teeth people. And honestly, it was kind of funny because that was something I felt some of the Rooster Teeth staff also very much enjoyed. And I don't want to say that, but I feel like some of them were just wanting to get away from some of the VIPs who are crowding them. And so I'm very glad that it was separated this year. Expectations for both were different, and both groups, all groups involved, got exactly what they needed.
You can definitely tailor it a lot better. It didn't feel like last year there was any sort of intent behind what the party was supposed to be, except just put a bunch of people in the same room together, sort of. There was no structure to it. I couldn't tell who it was catered to, except who could shove the hardest. It kind of felt like.
Yeah.
Who could talk the loudest. And you would sit there next to someone you wanted to talk to for 30 minutes while one person bogarts their time, and you just eventually give up because you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to butt your way into the conversation.
I have that problem almost any time I try to, even to the most outsider of the VIP type people. For the first time, actually, this was the first year that I finally got to meet Jeff Williams in person. I never see him at the convention, and I found him at Buffalo Billiards, and I just wanted to say hi. Tell him that I appreciated his music, and that and just say I was the one who had tried to invite him out to the RTNE thing that he had politely declined. Just say hey. That's all I wanted to do. And he did the same thing that Luke McKay had done, which was, walk with me and we'll talk. So I was like, I really just wanted to say hey and leave him alone. And I ended up walking over to the bar with him, and then I had to stand there and wait 15 minutes while 50 other people butted in. It's really?
I had a similar experience. I did get to meet Jeff Williams 2 years ago before I was a Spectre. I was at SideQuest. You guys were there. We were all having fun. We talked to Jeff Williams' daughter, and she was really nice. I got to talk to Jeff Williams, and then two hot girls took up all his time after that. And then 2 years ago, I was waiting to talk to Nico after his performance at SideQuest on that Saturday. So I told him, I'm willing to wait. I wanted to talk to you about industry stuff. That's what I wanted to talk to Jeff Williams about as well, because I'm a composer, and I wanted to talk about industry stuff and software that they use and that kind of stuff, what their techniques are. So I told, Nico, I'm willing to wait until, everyone's done talking to you so we can talk about industry stuff. And so there's like this one guy talks to him for 20 minutes. Someone else talks to him for 30 minutes. Finally, we sit down to talk. Then he goes to get a beer, and then a guy grabs him at the bar. And I'm like, that's okay, cool. It's just like the more polite you are, the less chance you have of meeting someone popular.
Yeah, and at least you had something in common to like talk with him about. Like you could talk music with him and actually have a reason to talk. I honestly just wanted to say hi and then leave. That was pretty much.
Well, then there was you're an artist, so there was the time you wanted to talk to Luke McKay, and he was like, "Well, yeah, we'll talk later." And then what happened there?
He said, "Come to the bar with me." And he invited me to dine with him at Fido, and I went to Fido, and it was attempting to have a nice conversation with him, and immediately getting interrupted by a particular person who stood there and spoke with him for an hour and a half.
Whoa. So, not gonna lie, there's something about RTX that a lot of people don't understand is it's just going to be crowded always, and it's just going to get worse year after year. So as much as we want to meet these people we really admire, something to keep in mind too is if you can just make a really good first impression really fast, just say something, really nice, really polite, whatever you can do to make an impression that'll set you apart from other people without being a pervert, please. And then
okay.
Yeah. And then follow up later. Follow up later and be like, hey, I know I was super busy and we didn't get to talk, but I'd still love to chat. And just be like, are you free? Or I'm going to be in LA or Austin in a month and a half, whatever. Like, just follow up afterwards, because I don't think a lot of fans think about that. They just think, oh, RTX is my only chance to ever meet these people.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you, Tristan, like with Jeff Williams. A lot of times when I see someone, I just want to be like, hey, how's it going? You're awesome, blah, 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 and then just leave. I don't want to talk a bunch. I'm not a talker. Right. But then people go and they like start talking to them, and it takes a while, and it's to the point where I'm like, I don't really want to be standing there, and then finally it's my turn, and I just do this little bit and then go. It just feels odd.
Yeah.
Well, so I just end up not doing it. I'm just like, screw it. I'm just gonna go and do something else then.
I stood for a little bit and talked, and I spent a minute and a half talking to Jeff Williams just to get my words out. I made sure that I said my piece, and then I left him alone, and that was fine. He didn't seem put off.
I think Bree gives some good advice there, which is if you're genuinely interested in becoming friends with someone, then perhaps don't be a fanboy or fangirl. Don't try to swarm them at a convention. Get your minute of first impression or whatever, as she said, and then talk to them on social media, befriend them, and if you're actually genuinely interested in being their friend rather than a feather in your cap, which we know of plenty of people that they're only interested in feathers in their caps. So if you're interested in actual friendship, it'll happen. It doesn't have to be forced, but it's more a matter of balancing between a minute conversation here and then some social media interaction there to make your impression and actually build a friendship with someone who's way too busy to be best friends with every single person they meet in the autograph line.
Yeah.
I'm glad you agree with me, Tristan. Very eloquent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tristan, Joseph, yeah. I have some points against that.
Counterpoint. Checkmate. Yes.
Argument.
Yes.
So, I think maybe we should wrap up.
Yeah, I think that was good. I think that was a good episode. Since you're the guest, you get to say the goodbye.
Thank you guys for inviting me, and we will see everyone later.
Yay.
Thanks for
Goodbye.
Good night, Caboose.
Bye.
So this Minecraft thing.
Alex can't wait to commit suicide in Minecraft again.
Yay, I can jump in lava or drown myself.
I don't have food. I think I'll drown myself.
Yeah.